Welcome to a deep dive, into a life story that's really as much about the music as it is about the man.
Yeah.
And we've got something really unique here, memoir excerpts, but interwoven with original song lyrics.
Wow.
So it's kind of like getting a soundtrack to somebody's journey of self-discovery.
Yeah, it's fascinating how the lyrics provide like an emotional undercurrent to the events that are described in the memoir.
Right.
It's not just what happened, but how it felt and how it shaped him.
Yeah, exactly. And the themes we'll be exploring, I think, are pretty universal. Family, resilience, adventure, love, and the power of, creative expression.
Mm-hmm.
Plus this deep dive, spans multiple generations. We're going all the way from grandfather to grandson.
Wow.
So that offers a unique kind of male perspective on, the legacies we inherit and the ones we build.
Yeah, and that idea of legacy is like woven throughout both the memoir and the music.
Yeah.
It's about understanding how the past shapes us, but also recognizing the power we have to shape our own futures.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
The memoir opens with this really vivid memory of our subject's grandfather's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just a kid at the time, but the experience left a profound mark on him.
Oh, wow.
He insisted on seeing his grandfather in the casket,
Oh.
even though his family tried to kind of shield him from it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's heavy for a kid.
it is heavy.
Yeah.
And I think that early experience, speaks to a sense of wanting to confront things head on,
Right.
a refusal to kind of shy away from the harsh realities of life,
Mm,
even at a young age. And it's a trait that seems to resonate throughout his journey.
that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's interesting how that same directness kind of appears in his song, I Had a Boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a raw emotional reflection on father-son relationships.
Wow.
But the kind of honesty that can be hard to express, directly to somebody,
Yeah.
but, finds an outlet through music.
Yeah, there's vulnerability in those lyrics, like
Yeah.
a longing for connection. It's not just about mourning a loss, but also about grappling with the complexities of that relationship,
Mm-hmm.
the unspoken things that are left unsaid.
You can really sense that searching for connection in other parts of the memoir as well,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to his father.
Right.
Remember that anecdote about him singing at a Boy Scout banquet,
Yes.
hoping to impress his dad? It's like he's constantly seeking validation,
Right.
trying to live up to an image that may not even be his own.
Yeah, and those feelings are echoed in the lyrics of, why can't I be the guy I want to be?
Mm.
It's a question I think many of us grapple with, especially as young men,
Yeah,
trying to figure out, who we are in the shadow of expectations,
right.
both familial and societal.
It's like he's pushing back against those expectations,
Mm-hmm.
but also internalizing them in a way.
Right.
It sets up this tension that seems to drive a lot of his early choices.
Yeah, and I think it's within that tension that we start to see the seeds of his own legacy taking root. He's not simply accepting the path laid out for him,
Yeah.
but he's actively seeking his own way.
That's where I think the family dynamics come into play.
Yeah.
He describes growing up in a large Irish Catholic family,
Mm-hmm.
the move to the suburbs,
Right.
and how his mother eventually left the church, which, highlights how these external forces can really shape a family's internal landscape,
Right.
how even seemingly small decisions
Yeah.
can have ripple effects.
The decision to leave the church was a bold one for his mother,
Yeah,
especially in that era.
especially back then.
Yeah, you can imagine the impact that had on him.
Right.
Witnessing that act of self-determination, that questioning of tradition,
Mhm.
it suggests that forging your own path is not just something you do.
Right.
It's something you learn. It's something that's modeled for you.
Yeah, speaking of forging your own path,
Mm-hmm.
music becomes this incredibly important outlet for him.
Right.
We see it in the memoir, but it's really brought to life in the lyrics. Just who you are, for example, is all about resilience,
Right.
about finding your voice amidst the chaos.
Yeah.
It's a theme that resonates with his own experiences growing up.
And it's interesting how that sense of resilience ties into his rebellious streak.
Mm-hmm.
That anecdote about him secretly ordering records from Columbia House
Oh, yeah.
speaks volumes.
Yeah.
It's a small act of defiance,
Right.
way of claiming his own tastes, his own interests, separate from what's expected of him.
It's like music becomes this secret world where he can be himself,
Mm-hmm.
explore his own emotions, and find solace outside the pressures of family and societal expectations.
Right. A safe space for self-expression, for processing the world around him.
And that need for self-expression seems to fuel his adventurous spirit as well.
Okay.
We see a shift in the memoir where he starts taking risks,
Mm.
pushing boundaries, both physically and emotionally.
Okay.
This is where things get really interesting.
Right.
It starts with a near-fatal car accident.
Oh, jeez.
He describes the car, his mother's Plymouth Satellite,
Oh.
wrapped around a telephone pole.
Oh, wow.
It's a chilling image,
Yeah.
a reminder of how quickly life can change.
Right.
And then he connects this experience to the lyrics of Don't Get Lost in Your Dreams,
Okay.
which takes on a whole new layer of meaning in this context.
This song isn't just about caution or avoiding recklessness,
Right.
but about facing the consequences of your actions, understanding the fragility of life, and learning from those close calls.
Yeah.
The line, when life catches up with you, they're never what they seem,
Right.
suggests a newfound awareness of the unforeseen,
Yeah.
a shift in perspective.
Yeah, a shift in perspective.
Yeah, it's almost as if that brush with mortality like awakened a deeper thirst for experience.
Right.
The memoir shifts from that near-fatal car accident
Yeah.
to like a series of sailing adventures,
Okay.
particularly one journey down the East Coast with a friend that sounds incredibly daring.
Yeah. He doesn't shy away from describing the challenges.
Yep.
Harrowing storms, navigating narrow canals at night alongside these massive cargo ships.
Oh, wow.
It really paints a picture of someone pushing their limits,
Yeah.
testing their resilience,
Mm-hmm.
not just physically, but mentally.
And it's interesting how he connects this experience to his song, When Stars Collide. There's a sense of transformation in those lyrics,
Yeah.
of being pushed beyond your comfort zone and emerging changed on the other side.
There's a line bringing us to the other side
Right.
that really captures that feeling of pushing through adversity
Yeah.
and coming out stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like he's discovering a reservoir of inner strength he didn't know he had.
It's not just about seeking thrills,
Right.
but about testing his own capacity for growth.
Okay.
And that journey leads him to Florida,
Right.
which becomes a pivotal point in his story.
Florida seems to represent this period of exploration and reinvention.
Sure.
He tries his hand at various jobs,
Mm-hmm.
from working on luxury yachts to helping out at this quirky restaurant called Swampwater Owls.
Oh, wow.
You get the sense he's not afraid to roll up his sleeves and get his hands dirty,
Right.
figuring things out as he goes.
There's a resourcefulness there,
Yeah,
a willingness to adapt and learn new skills.
absolutely.
It speaks to a strong work ethic, but also a certain fearlessness when it comes to embracing the unknown.
It's like he's building his own path brick by brick,
Yeah.
relying on his wits and determination.
And then amidst all this hustle and exploration, a new theme emerges.
Okay.
Love and relationships.
Yeah, this is where the song lyrics provide such a powerful counterpoint to the memoir.
Right.
They capture the emotional nuances of those connections
Mhm.
in a way that prose sometimes can't.
Yeah, for sure.
It starts with this incredibly romantic encounter on a train. He meets a woman named Cindy.
Okay.
They spend a day together sharing stories and dreams, and then they part ways.
Wow.
But the encounter leaves a lasting impression,
Right.
captured beautifully in his song, Kicking Around With You.
The lyrics have this youthful energy, a sense of pure joy and connection.
Yeah,
It's not about grand gestures,
right.
but about finding someone who makes you feel seen, someone you can simply kick around with and feel completely at ease.
And what's so fascinating is that this brief encounter
Yeah.
has a ripple effect that extends for years.
Really?
He mentions exchanging letters with Cindy.
Wow.
She even visits him in Florida.
Oh, wow.
It's like this what if that hangs over his life,
Yeah.
even as he moves on and builds other relationships.
It speaks to the enduring power of those fleeting but meaningful connections, how they can stay with us long after the moment has passed,
Yeah.
shaping our perceptions of love and connection.
And then in contrast to this almost idealized memory of Cindy,
Okay.
he describes a more complex relationship with Christina,
Right.
the woman he eventually marries.
Oh.
He hints at reservations from the beginning, a sense that maybe they weren't quite right for each other.
Yeah. And that's where the song The Women That We Love provides such a poignant reflection on the complexities of love and heartbreak.
Yeah.
The line, they all leave their scars,
Right.
resonates deeply,
Yeah.
suggesting that even relationships that don't last can leave a lasting impact on who we are.
It's like he's acknowledging that love isn't always easy.
Yeah.
It can be messy and painful at times,
Right.
but even those difficult experiences teach us something about ourselves,
Mhm.
about what we need and what we're willing to give.
And as he navigates the breakdown of his marriage,
Right.
we see him turning back to his creative pursuits,
Yeah.
art, music, and writing,
Yeah.
as a source of solace and self-discovery.
This is where the memoir and the lyrics really intertwine.
Right.
It's like the act of creating becomes a way for him to process his emotions, make sense of the world around him,
Yeah.
and find a path forward.
He talks about the therapeutic power of painting,
Oh,
losing himself in the colors and textures, finding a sense of calm amidst the turmoil.
yeah.
And it's during this period that he starts a business called Turtleback Limited.
That name is fascinating
Yeah.
because it connects back to one of his songs, Acorn Sprout.
Okay.
It's a metaphor for growth, for resilience,
Right.
for starting small and gradually expanding your reach.
The lyrics, I started out as an acorn sprout. The spring came along and I poked my head out, grew a couple branches out on my side,
Yeah.
perfectly capture that sense of organic growth,
Right.
of adapting to your environment and finding your own way to thrive.
It's like he's taking that same spirit of resilience he learned from those sailing adventures
Right.
and applying it to his creative pursuits,
Yeah.
building something new and meaningful out of the ashes of a difficult period.
And that sense of purpose extends to his music as well.
Okay.
He rediscovers the joy of performing,
Mm-hmm.
playing gigs at a local bar called Hot Monk,
Right?
connecting with other musicians,
Right.
and sharing his passion with a live audience.
There's a real sense of community in those descriptions,
Mm-hmm.
a reminder that even in the midst of personal struggles,
Right.
finding connection and creative expression can be incredibly healing.
And just when you think the story is settling into this comfortable rhythm,
Yeah.
there's a twist.
Oh.
He reconnects with Cindy,
Wait.
the woman from the train, after nearly 4 decades.
Talk about a plot twist.
Yeah.
It's like that song Kicking Around With You is suddenly playing in the background,
Right?
but now it's infused with all these layers of experience and longing.
Hmm.
It makes you wonder, is this just nostalgia?
Right.
Or is it fate stepping in?
Yeah, it feels like that reconnection with Cindy is more than just a second chance at love.
Right.
It's almost like a thread that's been woven through his entire life is suddenly being pulled taut,
Yeah.
bringing everything into focus.
What's remarkable is how he navigates this new chapter
Right.
with a sense of cautious optimism.
Mm.
He's not rushing into anything, but allowing the connection to unfold organically,
Yeah.
acknowledging the complexities of their lives and the time that has passed.
He describes their email exchanges as effortless,
Right.
like no time had passed at all.
Yeah.
But he's also aware of the potential pitfalls,
Yeah.
the weight of expectations, and the fact that they've both changed significantly since that brief encounter on the train.
Yeah. And yet there's this palpable sense of hope in his words,
Right.
a willingness to explore what might be possible.
Mm-hmm.
He even mentions in one email that he's still carrying around that old guitar,
Wow.
the one he had back then.
Oh,
It's a subtle but powerful gesture,
yeah.
a way of saying, remember this part of me, it's still here.
It's like he's inviting Cindy to see how he's evolved,
Right.
both as a musician and as a person.
And that invitation extends beyond just music. He sends her a link to his website
Right.
where he's showcasing his art, his writing, and of course his music. It's a way of sharing his journey, his creative spirit, and the multifaceted life he's built.
And that act of sharing seems to be a key part of his process.
Yeah.
He's not just creating for himself,
Mm-hmm.
but actively seeking connection through his art.
Right.
Whether it's performing at a local bar, connecting with other musicians, or starting a band,
Right.
he's finding ways to bring his passions into the world and share them with others.
There's a line in his song, Hanging at the Hot Monk Bar, that captures this sentiment perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
Every single Wednesday night, right at 6 o'clock, hang out with your friends at the Hot Monk Bar.
It evokes this sense of community,
Yeah.
of finding a space where people can come together, connect through shared experiences, and find solace in the power of music.
It speaks to a deeper need for belonging,
Right.
for finding your tribe and creating something meaningful together.
Yeah, and this desire for connection extends to his family as well. He
Yeah.
talks about spending quality time with his children, watching them grow and discover their own interests,
Right.
and finding joy in those simple moments of connection.
There's a beautiful anecdote about him spending Christmas with his family,
Mm.
rocking his grandson to sleep while the rest of the house is buzzing with activity.
Oh, wow.
It's a quiet moment amidst the chaos.
Yeah.
A reminder that sometimes the most meaningful connections are found in the simplest gestures.
It speaks to a sense of presence,
Hmm.
of finding peace and contentment in the everyday moments that make up a life.
Yeah, and this newfound sense of peace seems to be intertwined with a deeper acceptance of his own journey.
Right.
The highs and lows, the triumphs and heartbreaks.
He even describes this experience of watching old home movies with his son
Hmm.
and suddenly recognizing his own father in the flickering images.
Wow.
It's a powerful moment of connection across generations,
Right.
a reminder of the legacies we inherit and the ways in which we carry our ancestors within us.
It's like he's coming to terms with the cyclical nature of life,
Hmm.
the ways in which the past shapes the present, and how our own stories become intertwined with those who came before us.
And this understanding seems to deepen when he discovers a long-lost film reel
Okay?
hidden in a cottage he's renovating.
Oh, wow.
The footage shows his father as a young man,
Okay.
full of life and energy,
Yeah.
a side of him he rarely saw growing up.
This unexpected glimpse into his father's past seems to unlock something within him.
Mm,
It's like he's seeing his father not just as a parent,
right.
but as a person with dreams and aspirations.
Yeah.
Someone who faced challenges and made choices that shaped his own path.
It's a reminder that even those who are gone continue to influence who we are,
Yeah.
and their stories live on through us.
And as he reflects on his own life, his journey of self-discovery, his creative pursuits,
Mm-hmm.
and the relationships that have shaped him, he seems to arrive at a sense of peace and gratitude.
There's a beautiful passage where he describes standing on a beach watching the sunset
Okay.
with his grandson by his side. It's a quiet, contemplative moment that encapsulates the essence of his journey.
He writes, "The sun sets on another day, painting the sky with hues of orange, pink, and purple.
Wow.
My grandson points to the horizon, his eyes wide with wonder.
Oh.
Grandpa," he asks, "where does the sun go when it sleeps?" I smile and hold him close. "It goes to rest," I say, "so it can rise again tomorrow, bringing light and warmth to a new day."
It's a beautiful metaphor for the cyclical nature of life, the
Mhm.
constant interplay of endings and beginnings.
Yeah, and it leaves us with a sense of hope,
Mm,
knowing that even as one chapter closes,
right.
another one is always waiting to be written.
It's been an incredible journey exploring this life story through the lens of memoir and music.
What stands out to you, listener, from all that we've uncovered?
For me, it's a powerful reminder that legacy isn't just about what we leave behind,
Right,
but about how we live our lives.
right.
It's about embracing the journey, pursuing our passions, connecting with others, and finding meaning in the everyday moments that make us who we are.
And who knows, maybe someday someone will be deep diving into your story,
Yeah.
uncovering the layers of your experiences and finding inspiration in the songs you've sung along the way.
I like that.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody.
We hope it's left you with something to think about, maybe even something to hum